purchase. Hi, hello and welcome, Shadow Nova. Welcome back to another unedited Onkruid Soulstone Survivors video. Oh, don't forget the runes. Last time we checked out the Dungeon of Despair on Curse level 3. We even looked into Overload mode for a while, but as you can see right now, all these modes here, all these maps, Curse level 3 completed, onto Curse level 4 it is, which changes up each time you kill an enemy, a meteor. We already had the meteor though, right? Reduces healing received. That's something we already had as well. What changes? What actually changes? Clone army. Pillars of Despair. Pillars of Despair is new. Occasionally a Pillar of Despair will spawn, casting powerful spells at you until destroyed. Alright, so when we see pillars, we definitely need to make sure that we kill it. Epic materials, huh? Obsidian. Damn, we're collecting so much stuff that we will be able to use in the future. First of all, the runes though. Are we gonna go with the cheesy build again, where we know we will be able to? No, we can't, right? We really can't warrant just going back with that same build that we have done multiple times before. I mean, no, like really, how can we do that? That's gonna be so boring to watch. Nobody's gonna want to see that. Anyway, let's get into it with the same build we have for a while. The Necromancer. Our first ability, Skeletal Warriors. Very interesting. So, we are immediately just completely out of control of our damage. Or, well, we are not in control is what I meant to say. And we need to rely on our Skeletal Warriors to do the job. Let's make sure that we spawn these next ones over here in the corner. And that was a multicast setting, because that's quite a lot of them, right? A maximum of 12 units can be active at any time. Alright, well, 12 units, that's quite a lot. Let me turn down the audio for myself a little bit, but it won't affect your audio levels at least, I think. And I guess it's more than fitting to try and go for a little summon build, right? Let's go for movement speed. Doing crazy things. We would normally never pick movement speed, but it was green and I like green. Let's go for a bit of a summon build. It has been quite a while since we have done that. I didn't necessarily see something in the Necromancer's baseline stats that said like, hey, your summons are going to become stronger. Poison Cloud. Poison Cloud is going to be nice for now as well. That's the rare material Obsidian, I think. I wonder whether the pillars that we have to destroy will get markers on the map, or whether we will need to look around for them. There's definitely a lot more meteors falling down. That's definitely what I was trying to say, and I believe it's gonna be this pillar's doing probably, so let's try and destroy it as quickly as possible. We definitely need something to kind of have our own control of a damage source, that's for sure. Arcane Sparks, Magic Missiles. Let's go for Magic Missiles. I don't know if we have taken that previously. Definitely it looks like Magic Missiles, that's for sure. At least now we have something to aim a little bit. Relentless, we love cast speed over here. Poison Cloud is gonna be something we are gonna get rid of probably. We're getting a lot of cast frequency upgrades already, which is absolutely beautiful. You know, these arcane missiles are already quite potent when it comes to damage dealers. Shadow Orb, sure, that seems to fit the aesthetic of a Necromancer in my opinion. It seems like we're firing out a whole bunch of missiles to each and every side. Cast speed. Don't necessarily see a pillar on the map for now. Sure, we'll go for a little block power, just a little teeny tiny defensive upgrade. Let's go Lightning Bolt for now, but the Lightning Bolt and the Poison Cloud might be changed up later. Area effect of lasting. Multicast Frontal. Yeah, those are both skills we are gonna keep, so I would love to multicast them. Increase damage for the Skeletal Warriors. Less, please. Yes, please, rather. Bloodlust is... Damn, we're getting knocked around because another pillar spawned. Bloodlust is gonna be very nice because it, of course, also affects our Skeletal Warriors if they are close enough to us. A nice little all-around critical upgrade will also do us nicely. It will suit us nicely, it will fit us nicely. Give me some multicast. All in all, character so far feels pretty strong. Considering we are in Curse level 4 for the first time, I don't see any problems so far. But maybe that will change as soon as we encounter our first lords, which is about to happen. Because, well, the Skeletal Warriors are normally the worst out of the Skeletal Minions. The mages and the archers are better. But for now, look at them go. Holy shit. Alright, alright. Calm to daddy. Calm to daddy. My experience, my beautiful little experience orbs. Shadow area burst magical. No, I think we're looking for something a bit more frontal because we have a bunch of frontal upgrades. And none of these are frontal. So for now, let's keep with the build we have right now. And now we just need to get our skeletal warriors and convince them to swarm this guy just like they did with the previous one. We are dealing a lot of damage. We are dealing a hell of a lot of damage, I can tell you that much. I shouldn't have taken the attack speed buff for lightning bolt there, and I should have replaced that already with some of the other abilities we got. But it's no biggie. We're not going into endless today because I don't have the time anymore, to be completely frank with you. And also just because I want to have this video out and about in a while. I don't want to have long videos for every single Soulstone Survivors video because it's not going to be appealing to you people anymore. Ooh, a pillar here. Quickly make quick work of it. There we go, easy enough. Looks like it also might drop some experience, or maybe we just picked up some experience from the other side. Do we want any of this? I guess we could already replace this electrical skill with a poison skill, and maybe look for a poison upgrade that makes our poison cloud worth keeping. Critical upgrades, fine. Poison definitely still fits. Ooh. Yeah, I think it's either one of these, but I think the legendary upgrade has to be a larger advantage for us right now, right? Yeah, our damage is definitely higher. Damage increase for the poison bolt, so that settles it. We're keeping these poison stacks, poison abilities rather. And either way, our build doesn't have to be perfect right now, because we're just headed for this first victory on this first cycle of the map, this first little round, if you will. So it's not gonna be a problem if we don't min-max optimally and get the most beneficial build template out there. We're just trying to have fun. We're trying to have a blast. Damage increase for the poison bolt, sure. Let me just cop that real quick, and then I think we're off to the races. I think we are in quite a beneficial position, and I think we are in a prime position to actually finish first in this race that we are headed off to, and achieve a little victory, as long as we still make sure we dodge a little bit, because I mean, we still get a whole lot of damage when we actually get hit by some abilities, so you have to be careful. We always have to be careful. You always have to be careful in life. I used to be somebody that was a bit too careful in life though. I was quite an anxious person. I was a worrier. I was somebody that always thought about, hey, this can go wrong, this can go wrong. For example, in Tenerife, in the island we go to vacation, we go on vacation quite often. One of the first times we were there, they were thinking about renting like a jeep or going on a sort of jeep safari. And immediately my mind was racing. What if we crash? What if we tumble down the mountain? What if this? What if this? What if this? What if that? And it's definitely something that I have improved in. It's something that has ebbed away a little bit. And I think a large part of that is also me graduating from university, because that was definitely an anxiety-inducing experience most of the time. Because I was just somebody quite perfectionistic and somebody that had a fear of failing. I wanted to achieve nice grades. I wanted to make my parents proud because I knew that they paid so much money for me to be there. So I definitely wanted to do well. And I did put a lot of stress on me, a lot of pressure on my shoulders. But now that I am a part of the workforce and I'm actually a clinical psychologist, and even during the last year of my education, also when I was in my internship, because that's of course also kind of working already, or it feels like it either way, I became a lot more competent and I learned to let go a lot more and just be happy with what I can do and be okay with what I cannot do. I don't have to know or be able to do everything, you know. Not everybody has an expertise in every single aspect of every job. I need to make sure that I know about some things and I can treat people with some problems, but I don't need to be this vast, all-encompassing vat of psychological knowledge. I need to accept my own limitations. It's definitely something that I also give as a psychoeducation to some of my patients. So, I mean, how can psychology majors be sad or have a fear of failure? Just look at your notes, man, ha ha ha. But it's quite true. I think our education in the field of psychology, and I think also something like philosophy, and definitely all the social workers educations, all the kind of forms of education at university where you come into contact with what it means to be human, and how you can use yourself as a human, your own human mind and body as an instrument to, for example, help others. I think all those educations are similar and different from other educations, like, for example, engineering educations or all those things, or biology educations. Well, maybe biology still a little bit, because that also is about the human body for some time. But what I'm trying to say is, I think that we all get this extra domain of education in our education, and it is education on ourselves as a person. I think that becoming a clinical psychologist, and for sure, I am sure that when I want to become a therapist later, starting next year, it is not only learning a lot about this person coined this theory and this person invented this intervention to deal with death anxiety, and this guy talked about the existential givens and how they influence all of our daily lives, and this form of existential therapy was thought up by Mick Cooper, and this is then by Emmy van Deurzen. No, aside from all those things, all the general theory and stuff which you kind of learn, I think, in every education, unless if you're like an engineer, because then you just learn numbers. That's kidding. We need engineers in our life. Please don't sue me, and don't kind of sue me for defamation of your character. I love you guys, all of you. But those people don't, or often at least, don't learn how to really get in touch with their emotion, how to look at someone or something, listen to someone or something, and try to feel what they are actually feeling, and then give that back to the other person, or, well, give that back to the professor or the person that's leading the workshop. They don't have entire classes focused on focusing, the theory or the practice taught up by Eugene Gentlin. They don't focus on that a lot, and pun intended. And focusing, if you don't know, is a practice where you really look into your body and what it's trying to tell you. And trying is a key word there, because you look into the things that you don't always recognize, the things you ignore, the feelings you just move past towards your life and you don't have any attention for. You are trying to feel the unfelt and achieve a felt sense and achieve a felt shift, where the feelings inside your body, and therefore also in your brain and stuff, actually shift, and they are different. Now you recognize the feelings that you previously did not recognize. And I think that somebody that studies like an engineering major and stuff is not going to come in contact with those things unless they go looking for it on their own. And I think that's a beautiful aspect of our university education, of our higher education, especially the education to become a therapist. We don't only learn how to become a clinical psychologist or a therapist, but no, in that we learn how to become a human. Because if you don't know, us therapists, us clinical psychologists, us caregivers, we are just humans, you know. That's something a lot of people forget. They come to us and they think that we can just apply a little band-aid to an area of their brain and all their problems are fixed and they can just go on with their life. But no, first of all, we don't have all the solutions. We also struggle with things like worrying. We also feel bad some days. We also have relational problems sometimes. Second of all, what was my second of all? I had a nice structured point. Second of all, we can solve the problems for you. One of the most beautiful sentences of our line of work that definitely also conveys a very important message, and it's something I give to a whole lot of clients, is that you have to treat yourself. You have to put in the work yourself, but you don't have to put in the work alone. You know, because there's a difference between the two. You have to do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. And I think that pretty much sums up the entirety of my vision on psychological caregiving and caretaking, and just taking care of each other in general. It's definitely a work field that I am glad I work in. And it wasn't always I like that. I had my doubts, especially in like the second to last year of my education, when I was studying about how, or in some of the later years of my education, when I was spending an entire afternoon trying to study how we can make nice entrance exams for high school education. And that was just like, what the fuck am I doing? This is not what I wanted to be doing at all. Or when I was reading papers on looking at certain stimuli and how those influence the way you named them, like is something to the left of or to the right of something, and where in your visual field does it have to be. That's when I was doubtful a bit. Add up to 6 random active skills or the type shadow which your character will not have access to, otherwise to the skill pool if possible. Yeah, sure. That was easy enough. Sub 12-minute victory on our first run with the Necromancer. No biggie. No big at all. Reach prestige level 5 with the Necromancer. Sure. At least 5, right? It might even be a little more. 11. So the curse level 4 makes it so that you achieve prestige levels a lot faster. So we almost got an equal amount of prestige experience as we did the last time when we tried to overlord mode. So the level up process is gonna be faster and faster. Alright, we enjoyed the Necromancer a little bit and we unlocked the Legionnaire somewhere. I didn't even notice it. You all know what the next video is gonna be about. Legionnaire time. Thank you very much for watching this one. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.